startup ecosystem, what the idea is that you have to learn how to pitch your idea clearly and concisely. And once you learn how to do that, then you can bring in all the stakeholders and you can get into programs that'll help you and train you on how to build it. But that first step is you have to design a business model that is desirable.
When I initially moved back to Pensacola, I had a meeting with Lloyd. Lloyd invited me for breakfast and I was telling him, man, I still have an idea for the entertainment industry. This is what I wanted to do. He was like, all right, I got Startup on the Blocks. So I need you to start coming to Startup on the Blocks and get a little more information on how to work through the tech ecosystem and take your idea and we'll get you where you need to go. My company is called The Know, is an app that is streamlining business for the entertainment industry. Yeah, so if you're a musician, what you would do is pretty much jump on the platform, you'll create a profile, but the way we created the profile is pretty much a cleaner way. So now if they want more information about you, you'll connect your social media platforms, your streaming platforms, and that way they can go directly to it. What we also have included is your calendar. So pretty much you can set your days, you can set your price for your days and automate your booking. So initially talking to Lloyd, my idea was all here, it was there, it was over here, it was over there. It was like, all right, Quinn, I get it. You got a lot that you want to do, but we need you to bring it in just a little bit and then work on your pitch, your story, and how you're going to bring it full circle to get people to understand what you're trying to create.
Most of the programs here wasn't inclusive, and so we said we'll focus on helping founders of color. We also start at the beginning of the thing, at the idea stage, whereas a lot of the programs you see here locally, they start after you're up, and that's not very efficient unless if you don't have a lot of money, you can't recover from your mistakes. And the lean startup system, it actually helps you make mistakes faster before you spend a lot of money. You don't actually start building anything until you got customer buy-in.
There was a need for small businesses to bring brand awareness to their business. I see there's a lot of makers and bakers that they're making all of these goodies and these products, but they can't market it, they can't sell it at the same time, and there needs to be kind of like that middleman, that middle person to help bring economic growth to some of the small businesses in Pensacola. So Taste of Pensacola, I came up with that idea during the pandemic when I saw things at that time that Amazon couldn't fulfill. They didn't even have those products, but the local people in the community, they did. And so there was a ton of people coming out saying, hey, I make masks. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. All the local people here that are just as talented that can actually make those products. And so I wanted to kind of showcase who they were. So with Taste of Pensacola, our income streams, we have several of them. We have the corporate America. We do corporate gifting, just regular consumers, different Pensacola natives that don't live here that want to purchase our boxes, like a taste of weddings, distribution. So we also do bulk sales. So for a private airline, if they want some local snacks and goodies on their passenger flights, they will come to Taste of Pensacola and we will source their vendors here locally. And we'll give a small business owner an opportunity to have reoccurring monthly sales. I've always had a really big vision for Taste of Pensacola. I knew that it could go beyond just local. I know that maybe other communities could possibly use the same platform that I'm trying to build. And I always have these big visions, but I never know how to even get there. Where do I start? I know it's more than, there's a lot of technical things behind it. I know there's a lot of research, but that connection, I never had it until, thankfully, I met and was introduced to Startups on the Blocks and was able to just learn more about how to grow it in terms of data. Things I just never thought about, framework, words like traction. There's a lot of things that I just did not know about and language that I need to know in order to get funding for my business. There's just a lot that I didn't know.
I would go to the stores and look online. They didn't have a wide variety of natural hair products about 8 years ago. And the ones that they did have, the ingredients, it would say that they were all natural. And when I would research the ingredients, a lot of the ingredients were not natural. I make everything, my shampoo, conditioner, I have an oil that I make, and I have 2 different separate butters. Like I had some people who were completely bald and grew their hair. It's about giving women their confidence back in their hair. If I have this salon and I have a second salon, and I have my products in about 5 beauty supply stores. So I need a manufacturer to keep up with the demand at this point. Startup on the Blocks has helped my business grow, send me to different people. I'm able to do different pitch competitions to apply for grants in the community for small businesses. Lloyd's a really good person to connect with. He has a lot of resources here in the community that can help small businesses grow. If you have a product out there and you're trying to go big time, he's the person that you would want to meet with.
So it's really important to have some type of support because 9 times out of 10, most founders start out on their own. And to have somebody that has an idea of how the ecosystem works and is able to tap into other resources and bring back to the community, and that pretty much has encountered some of the roadblocks or going through the same roadblocks that we're currently going through and understands where you're at, your culture and how you respond to things, is a big help because you don't really have too many people that have access to what we have access to here in the community. And a lot of people believe that you have to leave and go to bigger cities to do the things that we're doing here. But I mean, it's one thing to have exposure, but you have to actually know it's here in the community in order to take advantage of the resources. So I get approached and I talk to friends all the time that wants to either start an idea or hear that I'm actually doing the app and wants to know more information about how are you doing it or what's the process, what's the path. I'm like, man, we have somebody here, Startup on the Blocks, Lloyd Richard. And Lloyd is here, he's a great resource to the community and to founders that's trying to learn the ecosystem. So join Startup on the Blocks.
Yes, join Startup on the Blocks. Glad to be here. How you doing, Ray? I see you got your mic off, and I know you.
Hey, how you doing, Lloyd? Thank you for.
Good. I appreciate you coming on again to share some stuff. Glad to have you back.
Definitely glad to be back.
Yes, and we're definitely appreciate you sharing all the stuff you've been learning about AI and and helping us move forward here. I'm definitely looking forward to hear the latest stuff you've been working on.
Yes, sir. And I apologize again for being off camera tonight. As you said, I'm just getting over from whatever I just had a week ago. So I'm still looking like a caveman right about now. So.
Well, we appreciate you taking the extra effort, to still try to participate and helping us out. We definitely are all right with that. I don't have a problem whatsoever. This is a family show and family thing. So we've had parents on here, we've had kids on here. We've had it all over the years. So don't feel bad about it. We appreciate you. And I think that's the message I want to share. So it's really a good time in the world for startup founders, huh?
I think it's the best time. If you're a creator, this is the best time to get out there and do what you're supposed to do. Like, you have no excuse. Yeah, it's a wonderful time.
Yes, you're right. And why don't you remind us of what your company does and what you're all about, and then after that we'll give a little shout out to the sponsors and partners and make a couple of announcements.
Yes, Lloyd. So Black Tech Mafia, I founded Black Tech Mafia, I would say the idea in 2019. I was in the middle of going to a coding boot camp here in Nashville, and then the pandemic hit. And then you know what happened. Everybody lost their jobs in tech. I would get a job, I would get laid off. I would get a job and got laid off. And so I decided, I'm going to build my own table, pull up my own chairs, and started working in the community. First of all, I started working with the schools and teaching coding workshops in the schools. And then that kind of spread to helping local nonprofits with business owners here in Nashville. And so what we have is a program that we're teaching. Like now we're teaching AI coding skills and AI literacy to the community here in Nashville. And so, yeah.
Yeah. So, but also just continue a little bit and what does a typical day look like with you working with AI? So just to give the audience a kind of idea of how you've been using AI over the past year or so.
Yeah. So for probably the last going on 4 years, 2022, when I first opened up ChatGPT, and I was doing like everybody else. I was using it like Google, and then I slowly find out over time and just playing around with it, it was more powerful than that. So my everyday, I wake up with Claude Desktop. It already has a task and information. Any YouTube videos or a channel I follow, it gives me a summarization of that every morning. It lets me know when to take my medicine. It sends me alerts to my cell phone. So I use it in not only my business practices, but also my personal life as well. It's a reminder for me to actually do what I'm doing when I'm sitting here at the computer or computers or having conversations with anybody about business technology. It's kind of like my personal AI assistant. I use it for, again, personal, business, and even learning. Definitely learning. So that's kind of my everyday. I have my main tool is Claude Desktop that I use for pretty much everything. ChatGPT, of course, as well for certain tasks, but I really use Claude, and that's kind of where I'm at right now, and trying to just share that with the audience and people as I meet and talk.
And how has it affected your uh, ability to be productive and to make money?
Yeah, so to be productive, it's actually helped me focus on the skills. I call my skills blind spots. I've always heard, Lord, it's not what you know that will hurt you; it's what you don't know, right?
Okay.
You know, and that was something that my grandmother used to always say, like, you're smart, but what you don't know is gonna be what keeps up with you. So I use it to for learning blind spots. So it
Okay.
anything that I have that it knows about or I learn, I run a certain, I call it a command because I don't prompt anymore. I have commands that I've kind of added to my Claude desktop, and so it helps me learn and look at things the way that I wouldn't look at. It gives me those blind spots, as I say. So I'm able to increase my learning on different subject matters that I should know or don't know. And then it actually logs that for me. Again, it logs that for me. And at the end of the week, I get a report on things that I learned, next steps, action items, all that. It keeps me accountable with that. So that's one way that it's helped me being productive. Also,
Okay.
in the way it's helped me make money is taking some of the ideas that I had previously that where when AI didn't exist, there were higher costs to get entry.
Yeah.
And so now I've been able to streamline several, I would say, lifestyle businesses that I have that are pretty much on autopilot. For example, leveraging my background in real estate, and I've talked to a lot of real estate and worked with real estate companies and brokers here in Nashville. Like I have a real estate school that I provide real estate education, continuing education courses, and no one knows that because it's pretty much it's on autopilot. The only thing that I do with that business is I look at my Stripe account every morning to see how many courses I've sold the night before, and and so that's yeah.
Keep going. Keep going.
Oh, no, and so that's been, ways that I've used it. Like, if you have a domain expertise, right? I've been in real estate since I was 18, and Nashville is crazy in real estate now. But I realized, like, I wanted to compete in areas where there was not that much competition,
Mhm.
and so and then I know my clients, my customers. I know who they are. I know where they go. I know what they're trying to do, and so I kind of come up with a business to business approach to with the associations, different the brokers, as well as I understand my competition as well. I understand that they've been in the market for 30 years, and guess what? I know about them. They're never going to change their playbook.
Okay.
They're never going to change. And I realized that. I said, well, guess what? They have the courses that everybody else has, but they don't have an AI course. So
Okay.
now my business is known as an AI provider. Like we provide real estate agents and their brokers and their companies a way to not only compete. So one of the biggest real estate companies, as we know in America, is Compass, right?
Yeah.
Compass is blowing everybody out of the water. And so as a way to educate other brokerages about AI, we've approached them as a benefit of recruitment and retention of their current agents because Compass is recruiting people based on their power and technology. So that's
Okay.
how they're going into markets, taking over markets based on what they're going to provide people to still be able to have a livelihood in selling real estate.
Well,
And
I got a
okay.
question for you. Yeah. And it just came to me, real estate agents. So so how does the concept of AI agents compare to real estate agents since they're both agents? I'm not-
So I would say, someone asked me, do I and I did a workshop with a brokerage company here a few weeks ago, before I got sick. Actually, the week I got sick, that's probably how I got sick. But they asked the question, do I think AI is going to replace real estate agents? I said,
Okay.
not tomorrow, but eventually, as time changes and preferences change, buyer preferences change, and like, no one thought we would just all be streaming videos at home now.
Yeah.
Everybody thought for years we would still have what, cassette tapes, we would still have VHS, we would still have DVDs, and now we can sit right here on the TV and stream. So over years, things will change.
Okay.
We'll have early adopters. I've known people that have bought houses offline. They did the virtual tour online and bought a house
Yeah.
without even seeing it. And so that's gonna, as the population changes, the shifts and demand for things are going to be a little bit different and a little bit easier, and that ecosystem is built out, we will see I think we will see a all agentic real estate company that people buy and sell homes by just with AI.
AI agents. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
AI agents. I think that would be, because you can get a loan, you can be identified getting a loan, you can go through your mortgage company, all that can be done, you know, and it can
Yeah.
be done securely
Yeah.
already now.
So I thought I heard you use the term skills, but like these AI agents need skills. Kind of relate that to how people need to have skills, so people can understand what's the significance of agents having skills.
Yeah, so when I say agents having skills, now it's all about the outcome. Okay.
Okay.
You will see companies only be paying for outcomes. And so
Yeah.
what I mean by that, so an agent can be trained to do what? It could be trained to review a contract. And it'll have, as we know, all the different AI tools. They have the three things that most AI agents have. They have tools, they have
Okay.
resources, and they have prompts.
Okay.
Okay. And so those prompts can be a framework to teach the AI agent to follow these particular, as I would say, a decision chart.
Okay.
If price is X, do this. If contingents on financing, sale of home, or appraisal is this, then do this. So those agents can have that as those pre-templates of prompts to be able to execute what, to review of the contract. And
Yeah.
so then you relate that to people. So you're saying people that, so in this AI literacy era that we're at, I believe it's more important to understand a problem and the desirable outcome that you need to solve
Okay.
that problem.
Okay.
So you don't need to know how to code anymore. You don't, like, you if you're a builder, AI powered builder. That's why will call myself, as I have a technical background, but now I can take some of the information and knowledge I know about a situation or a problem within a company. I can take that, I can be able to communicate that problem to some of these AI tools in a way that it it understands. And then when it understands, I will create the prompt for it to create a solution based on X, Y, and Z, or
Mhm.
using these particular tools or resources and data that I would give that actual agent to go out there and then create whatever that solution would be that creates that, ultimately, that outcome, that desired outcome.
So if you're trying to get that desired outcome, and if a person would do it, they have to have certain skills in order to be able to do it, right?
I would think the skills that they would need to have, and I say this to everyone, is pattern recognition. So they need to understand pattern recognition.
You
So
okay?
that's understanding the problem,
You okay?
the user.
Listen, we're
So
talking about the person now, not
yeah,
the AI.
the person. So it's like you've always heard when people say, "Well, I understand. I understand." Use that common term. I understand. Well, you don't
Okay.
understand. You haven't been in my shoes. You don't understand. So that's
Okay.
kind of like, so for this, I believe it's that domain expertise. Like if someone has worked in the insurance business and they've done, I guess, auto adjustments for years and years and years, they've seen the inefficiencies in that industry, right? They
Yeah.
understand, they've been, as they say, in the weeds. So
Yeah.
if you've been in the weeds in any particular job that may be, you have seen inefficiencies within a company's operations.
Yeah.
So now you have the understanding, you have the I guess they say the competitive advantage to take
Okay.
that problem and how would I fix that? If you had all the available resources at your disposal and money is not one of them anymore,
Mm-hmm.
you have AI to actually talk to. It's a language model that all you have to do is be able to talk to it. You don't even have to text. You don't have to type anymore. You can talk to these different AI tools, tell it
Yeah.
your problem, and it tell do you understand. If you don't understand, ask me clarifying questions, and then from there you're able to also then have it create the solution based on what you told it, and then you tell it now test it, see will it work. It's a lot of coding agents out there now that automatically now run their Q&A after you actually run the code.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
those are some of the things that as I say, I don't know what the workforce looks like. I see I see human agentic workforce coming up very soon, but you will see it would be kind of interesting how it plays off, because I've always heard one of my mentors has always said, not everybody is capable of being an entrepreneur, but everybody should start thinking like an entrepreneur.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah. I just, like if folks in the audience, if you understand what we're talking about, like you have a job that you do every day, or you have a job, something that you do out the house, at the home, but you're actually using your skills to accomplish the work. And so what you're saying, Ray, I believe is that AI agents, now the technology is to a point where you can give an AI agent some skills and some tools and stuff, and then they can execute as if a human was doing it, but the agent may be able to do it faster and work 24/7.
and that's exactly correct, and that's what's going on right now. As we see, massive layoffs, and they've had the data for years, right? They've
Yeah,
had the pattern recognition. They've listened
yeah,
to the phone calls. If you were, when you call in to customer service, they know the most common asked questions. They know they
yeah,
have all this data points, and so
um,
they've trained these AI agents on that information. And
yes,
and then the new thing that I'm learning and continue to learn is the recursive improvements now, right?
okay,
That's a total different game changer, because now you'll have agents probably teaching agents and
okay,
refining. And so, in the human workforce, when you have training and upskilling, you have to send people through a class, so they have to do some type of program. Now,
yeah, okay. Go ahead, finish it.
and now all you're gonna have to do is deploy a upgrade to your agents. If
Okay,
there's a new workflow, if there's a new step, if something comes out now, it's deployed instantly to a agentic workforce.
so it's almost sounding like we're gonna need a HR department for agents.
They will be working hand to hand. I will tell you,
Well, so,
I would see that happening, yeah, hand to
yeah,
hand. That
I
yeah,
say that sarcastically, but
no,
this morning I had in my Google feed is talking about this company. I can't even think of the name of it, but the company literally was a manager of skills for the AI agents. So they created a whole platform to keep track of the AI agents and how well they're performing. And if so you can know when their performance is decreasing. So it's reminding me this company, like people have skills, and the people HR department of companies manage their people. So now there's a new startup, and there may be several of them that's actually helping you manage all these skills that your agents are using.
exactly, and yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah,
that,
and yes, yeah,
well, yeah,
and
that's crazy. Yeah,
and that's the very interesting, the topic, like you said, because that's where it's going, right? That's where it's growing.
mhm,
It had, and so we're in the very early stages You know,
Yeah.
what we're talking about, a lot of people don't understand like what exactly is going on at the same time. And the thing too, Lloyd, as me and you understand, is that it's happening so fast than any other
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So I was listening to the founder of Anthropic last week, I believe it was, and he was explaining the situation they have with the Department of Defense, which is so-called Department of War now, and that how they, um, uh, through Twitter they've been blacklisted by the government, but they hadn't received any paperwork. But he started explaining about AI, and one of the things he said was that right now, this is the company that does Claude. They said the capability of AI is doubling every 4 months.
Yes, and I believe it. I
Yeah,
believe I've seen it. Yeah, I've
yeah.
seen it.
And so,
Yes.
so imagine if you as an individual, you could improve the ability how you do stuff, double your improvement every point. It would be crazy. You know, you become a uh, superhuman. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
so Marcus said that Zoom link doesn't work. So I'm not sure what happened to it, but everybody remember that's the same Zoom link we use every week, and I'm not sure how I got distracted this week. But so like if you want to continue to participate and start find the best practices, that Zoom link has been the same for 2-3 years now. And so I just want everybody to understand it. And so we are here every Thursday night for the 6 to 7 is what the Zoom link is for. But this 7 to 7 p.m. Central Time, that's where we have a guest on or something, and that's what that link is for. I apologize that we have two different links. We used to, when we first got started, we had a one link for everything, but that company went out of business or got sold or whatever. Matter of fact, this StreamYard that we're using now, they actually bought the part where you could do the streaming from. And then, yeah, but so I apologize for that. Was my mistake. I thought I'd double check that today before I sent out the email. But one thing you can do, if you set a calendar reminder for every Thursday, we've been here for 5.5 years. And so, so the deal is, I just want to make sure people understand, if you have you can, yeah. So there's like been announcements, just even on my LinkedIn page, if you, just be a little creative. I appreciate you telling me that. And I apologize for that earlier. So Ray, I think what I'm trying to kind of help communicate to the audience is the things are changing. They're changing fast, but this and there are people that are engaged and they're capitalizing on all these changes. You're capitalizing on them and making money from them. And I'll give you an example in my case and how using AI agents and stuff like that. And so so you got everybody's, you prompt and get stuff. But it appears now that you can, if you got some prompt that do a lot of things, you can actually get a large language model to turn those into skills, and so that you can integrate it in something that can work 24/7. So I think that's kind of what the thing here is. I'm trying to get people to, in a kind of roundabout way, to help them to understand what skills are. And just this thing we talked about today, people have skills and they do things on their jobs. And now AI agents have skills and they can work for you 24/7. But if you're just prompting, that's just for that period. But when you create an AI agent, and believe it or not, the large language model will create the agents for you. You don't have to know how to create them. I can give you give you an example of my wife and I, we don't see eye to eye on stuff, and so she always said AI can't give you facts and all the facts and stuff, and so it's about doing research. And so I finally said, if you can do research, I didn't tell her this, so she would probably slap me, but I said, if she's talking about all these ways you're supposed to do research, so I just sit down to the computer and I said, please, create me a research agent that has the ability to make sure it's got 3 good sources, and just like a researcher, a professional researcher would do. And long story short, just by me, getting a little frustrated with my wife, so whenever I do stuff with ChatGPT or Claude, it knows what I'm trying to accomplish. It knows what I've been prompting about. So it literally creates stuff for me just because it knows. And this is based on this nature prompt I've been sharing with you all for quite a while now. And so the nature prompt that I've been sharing with you all, it actually can do that recursion that Ray is talking about earlier, but it knows what the goal is, so it's going to keep on analyzing what you give it in order to move forward. Long story short, and this is like less than 2 months ago, so the prompt I created, it's already started generating income.
Yes.
Just from that, and so it's but. And I didn't do no programming. I didn't design any of the agents. I just told ChatGPT to create the specification for the agent and do a prompt and create a prompt. And it's actually been improving the prompt over and over again, and also creating different versions of it for different use cases without me even, doing any coding or anything.
Exactly. And I'll share with you. So my youngest son, he's 11. He's starting his own business, and so we use Claude to design his stickers for his business. And he took a picture of it and put it into a prompt, and then it created a skill to create other products for his particular business that he's doing. And I told him, something like that when I was your age would have probably cost my grandparents hundreds and hundreds of dollars to even try to go get printed at a manufacturer. And then we have all the equipment we have at home to produce this and share his his love for golf.
Okay.
And so that's how powerful this is, for a 11-year-old child. So these children actually have the ability to never work for someone if they learn these skills, and produce income. So that skill that you're talking about, AI can create those skills. Like you said, you don't need to know any coding or anything like that. Just have to be able to talk to it and kind of give it like what you're trying to do, and then it does that desirable outcome every time, because now it knows what the goal is, as I say, what the mission is.
Yeah. Well, I think we kind of beat that skill thing to death a little bit, but it's just. But I think what people have to realize, everything you do in the computer world, it always has some analogy to the real world, so the agents are trying to do what people normally would do, but they're doing it 24/7. But the agents need to know how to do stuff, and that's what the analogy is to skills. And then just from my talking about it, I've had the thought, because of this thing that popped up in my Google feed this morning, just saying that if you think of the analogy of what this company doing, it's helping you manage all your skills, keeping track of all of them, keeping track of when they need to improve or when they're not doing well. That reminds me of HR department.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
the same logic, same business function that is actually doing for the digital work floors, I guess. Yeah.
But I think if people understand that everything that has to involve with the computer and software and stuff and the computer architecture, it has to do with the real world. It's trying to mimic a real world thing. It's the simplicity of it. So let me do a quick little shout out to the sponsors, and also let's see if I can get my screen here working. So this is what I want to kind of make sure everybody can get signed up for it's our Founders Innovation Summit and Tour, and that's happening both in person and virtual. So no matter where you are in the world, you need to register for this, because even if you're busy on the 17th or busy on the 18th, still register, because you'll get access to the videos if you register. But if you don't register, you don't get access to the videos. And I think that's what people say, well, I got something else to do that weekend. But I'm literally telling you, just by registering, you get access to the stuff. And Ray, you participated last year virtually and did a workshop, but we do have the last session is about using AI. And so if you want to come down, or if you want to participate on that panel about how to use AI correctly, you definitely have an open invitation, for that. Yeah, and so just want to make sure you're aware of that, Ray. Yeah. So
yes, Lord, I am. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so I'm putting in the chat here, and I'll have it done here in a second. I didn't pull up my document with the information on it, so I'm manually typing in. But yeah, so because we want people to know how to use AI correctly, and we're going to provide you with a bunch of tools and prompts and stuff that can actually move you forward. And let's see what I got here. So let me just pull up the actual thing on the screen here, because I actually have it up. Let me just find it. So it's on this same thing. I just need to exit out of here. Let's see if I can get out of here. I don't know why this stuff want to make me work real hard today. So here is the actual web page, and so it's got the registration link on it. And so this particular page, you can get to it by going to innovation.thecoreinstitute.org, and I'll put that in the chat here in a second. But so the Friday afternoon is a reception. This is our third year, and so at this reception, you're going to get a chance to network, and then we our local officials from the city, the county, the school board, the Visit Pensacola, all the police department, sheriff department, everybody comes out. So it's like a meet and greet. But we also, one of our founders that's presenting, he's going to bring 2 robotic dogs. We're going to get Bisa to bring all her AI stuff for Microtron AI. And then we're going to have some brand new innovations that are going. So you'll get a chance to kind of see those and meet those founders. Yeah, you'll also get a chance to meet the speakers that day. Then Saturday, when I had the AI analyze this page, it says it's like we're taking you through the whole founder's journey by going through spending this day. So the first kickoff, instead of doing a keynote, we're going to do Are You Coachable? So Jermaine is a world-class retired MMA fighter. Fred Robbins is a retired NFL Super Bowl champion, and Randy and Ash, they're also known professional athletes, and so they're going to. As a founder, you need to be coachable, and so that's what that particular workshop is all about. And then at getting your business ready for AI, Rose Legisa, former NASA engineer, she's going to come and show. And she's been doing an evolution. The first year we had getting your data and learning about your data so you can start using it with AI. And so last year we did another progression. This year she's going to bring you the latest on using and how to use AI in your business. And she's was out at the NVIDIA conference a week or so ago, and she learned a lot of new stuff out there. So she's literally going to be sharing some of the stuff she learned from that. And so Rosa's an engineer, but Dr. Valencia Bell, she she has a startup called Schools, and so within the past, being a non-technical founder, and when she was on our show last year, we had to talk about how to transform her business with AI, and so she has literally transformed her businesses. Got AI agent that knows her and her stuff, and so she's going to come in and do a case study on how she transitioned from a non-AI native company to AI native company. Then we're going to do lunch, and then the afternoon part of the session is the tour. And so we're part of the Black Innovation Leaders of Florida, and this is their tour stop. So we do this then in conjunction with that. Yeah, and so basically, so at 1:30, Savola, another situation, we were doing some training down in St. Pete last year, and I was talking to her about her workshop and how she could use AI agents, to help people with what she was trying to leave them with. And so she's implemented that, and so she's going to share how she is using that to make money with her normal business stuff. And then, of course, we're going to do the stuff on funding because everybody wants to do that. And then we were talking about this is the using AI the right way and validating what AI builds for you. So Ray, what I was saying, if you wanted to join Paul, which he works over at the Innovation Portal in Mobile, Rose going to share what she's been learning. And I was going to participate as necessary, but Ray, this is the one I was saying. If you're interested, you can actually hop on if you want to, in person or online, whichever way you want to.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that's April 17th through the 18th. Okay.
Yeah. So this the 18th, this part here is the 18th. That's the full day.
18th.
Yeah,
Okay.
we just had the reception on the 17th on Friday. Right. That's what's going on there. So yeah, that's what the deal is for that. So yeah, so it looks like Mark has a thing here. So what is okay, he's saying the YouTube is not showing. So you're probably using so there's two YouTube things. There's one for the phone and there's one for the big screen, Mark. Yeah, so you can yeah, so that's what you're Mark, that's what you're experiencing on YouTube. So on YouTube you have two choices. You can do the full screen or you can do the phone one. So you might be looking at the phone one. Of course, the phone one is not going to show everything, but we appreciate the feedback. So there are two YouTube channels streaming at the same time. And so that's what I just wanted to make sure. And one is for the people that are on the phone, and one is for the people that are watching there. And apologize if so just want to make sure Mark understands that. All righty. So that's what the conference is. And so let me finish putting the link in here so you all will have that to kind of get registered for that. So Ray, what do you think? You think you will be able to participate?
Yes, actually in person. I need to get down there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we talk offline about it. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so I'm putting the link in here in the chat right now. So if you just click that link, everyone, you can see what the conference is all about, and you can definitely go from there on that. So let me get this back, and I'm going to finish up this and just take 30 seconds, Ray, to kind of finish up this next little piece. So I just want to give a little shout out to some of our partners and sponsors. And all this is about helping founders move forward with what they're doing. So these are people we've partnered with in the past or currently partner with, that support you. And I'm telling everybody, this startup science thing, if you're not on that, it's like a startup ecosystem in a box. It has the training, it has the grants, it has sample documents, it has everything you need to operate your startup. And so as a part of our Founders Insight program, you get access to that free. And they're continuously upgrading it. And so it's to the point now where once it understands what your startup is all about, it will start suggest using AI to match you up with funding opportunities. So anybody in our startup program, they get access to that. They also can get access to 6 months of Coda. And so if most people don't, I just you begin to realize more. Coda is it's like a document spelled backwards, but it allows you to pull in all your information from all your applications and everything into one document, so you don't have to be code switching. But anyway, they were bought by Grammarly, and now Grammarly has bought Superhuman, so it's all going to be one big suite. So who knows? But yeah, I just want to let you know that there's all the stuff we pulled together for you all. It's been through us partnering with all these organizations and these funders that have helped us, move forward. And so I just want to make sure we give a shout out to them. Yeah. So Ray, you had put together some stuff you wanted to share.
Yeah, if we have time, we can.
Yeah, we got time. Yeah, we got time. Okay. Because isn't it a product of you using, just your progression on using AI and moving forward?
Yeah, definitely. That's exactly what it is. Learning how powerful these tools are to create and be compensated for your knowledge, be able to do some pretty cool things. So yeah, you want me
Okay.
to share
Yeah.
the slide
Yeah.
or
Yeah. Go right ahead. Yeah.
let's
And
see, share screen?
I'll get you put up once you put it out there.
I think this is it.
Yeah, it's coming up. Okay. So why don't you give us a little backdrop, on what you're getting ready to share with us?
Yeah, so I'm about to share about the ChatGPT App Store that a lot of people don't know about right now. And most people know about custom GPTs, and that's pretty much it. But what it is there's a new app store that is in ChatGPT. Okay, so I'm going to share about what it means for founders that go from using AI tools to becoming an AI native business, sitting in one of the most powerful platforms ever created called ChatGPT.
All right.
And so that's basically what this is here. And that's the shift. No one's really talking about it, that everybody's using ChatGPT as like Google, right? We're still in that 2006 mindset where people are
Okay.
just asking questions. But that the shift that no one's talking about is that Google was the front door to business 20 years ago. Now the conversation, the prompt is going to be the new front door to business for clients, customers to find your products and services. And the something that Anthropic and OpenAI have come to agreement on is something called Model Context Protocol, where this is kind of like a standard understanding between all these different providers on how AI and information to the real world. That's pretty much what it is. AI is smart as it can be, and it's like a very smart intern, and that's what it is. But until it knows your business, your data, your context of what it is that you're trying to accomplish, it's just at at I guess I would say it's going to give you what it's going to give you. Now it's going to be more precise when it's connected to your data, and that's what MCP is all about, being able to allow these agents, these LLMs, to reach your data, talk to your data, know everything about your data, and then bring it in and provide you the best output possible. That's what MCP is. And so what I've been able to do, and this is in plain English. So some of the superpowers with chat is that now you can schedule and book follow-ups, you can analyze data, you can create draft information, but this can be all about your business. So right now, a lot of people are just doing what, copy and pasting their information into ChatGPT. They do it one time, then they do it again, close out the prompt. Then tomorrow they go back to the same thing and do it again, right? That's like Google of 2006, right? You're not really doing anything, but just a smart Google search. So that's the shift. What MCP is going to do is connecting your data from your business to the LLM, and then it can be a lot more smarter. And so,
Before you go on to the next slide, so isn't that also like if you got the different applications that you use, or you taking data from those applications? Is that what it's helping you with?
yeah, so like for example, if you use HubSpot, so I use HubSpot for my CRM, my customer relation database, right?
Okay.
And so now I can go to that especially if I'm a real estate agent. I always love to use my real estate examples, and I've not spoken to, probably, say if I have a database of 2,500 people that are in my database to get a monthly newsletter from me, and I want to know, out of that 2,500 people who've bought from me in the last 3 years, who's sending me a referral in the last 3 years, and whom I haven't talked to in the last 3 years, right? Because I want to start a new campaign. I want to start my social media campaign towards referrals, retirees, empty nesters. Like, I want to know whom in that group are at those particular areas of their lives, so I can have an AI agent actually come up with a campaign to send them on a recurring basis through my CRM. Like, you can connect those type of use cases to outside data. So the CRM is one. The other one could be even social media posting. Like, there's a lot of tools that you can post on social media on one tool, and it'll do it for Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. So those are some of the timings that AI agents can actually do and actually post at the right time.
So,
You know, I have,
so is the MCP server just as a way to connect to a lot of different applications?
well, the applications can be connected to each other, but
Okay.
it's basically the data. So it like exactly. So
Well, I know
exactly.
it's getting the data, but it's getting the data from the application, right?
Yeah. So the applications. So the LLMs are being able to talk to the outside world applications, like your real data, versus you copy and pasting it. It can connect to your Google Drive. So that's one thing that I use it for. Like, it has all my documents connected to it. So when I ask the question about something, it goes out there and reads my Google Drive, and then it can be able to give me exact answer based on the information that I need, and not hallucinate. That's
Okay.
one of the biggest things. Like, a lot of these LLMs, because they're just guessing because they don't have your data. But now, if they have access to your database, whatever that may be, if that's Google, if that's HubSpot, if that's your sales, so if you connect it to your however you keep up
So,
with your sales and revenues.
yeah. So
Yeah,
the MCP protocol, it sounds like how the LLM, the large language model, ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, LeChat, Gemini, uh, Copilot, is that through an MCP protocol, they can connect and get data from all the different applications that you use. And just
exactly what it is. Exactly
okay.
what. Yeah, being able to talk to the outside world from inside the LLM to the real data. That's basically what it is in common terms. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I'm using an application and it's still free. The app is called Hux, Huxe, and so I can, like it has some connects like the large language model do. Like, you can connect to different applications outside, but I can connect it. The idea I use it for, I want to stay up to date on all the things that I'm interested in. So I select all the things I'm interested in through the app, but I connect it to my several email accounts that I have. I connect it to my calendars. If I have several calendars, I can connect it to several calendars. And then if I can also, since it knows where I'm at, it also gives me local information. But, and so every morning or anytime I log onto it, it gives me an update and tells me what I got on my calendar. And I'm trying to get it to also tell me the tasks I need to do so I can be ready to do them and everything. But so that application is probably using this MCP protocol to connect to all these things and talk to them and get information back and then present it back to me where I can consume it.
Exactly. And that's the power of that, because instead of using all these different tools, like I use Cloud Desktop and it's connected to everything. I have
Yeah.
over I have over 40 MCP servers running at a
Okay.
given time. And some of those are custom ones that I've built myself, and because I know how to code and tell the agent to make it for me and copy and paste the API keys, and then there you go. My config file, and it's on my
Okay.
desktop for myself. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's kind of what I wanted to kind of drive home the point where you were saying here. So you saying you got, through your large language model, you got 40 or 50 connections, other than, in addition to the one they've already created for you. You've created some of your own.
Yes, yes, and the funny thing about it, so I have a play risk that I wear every day, where all my MCP commands on them. So when
Okay.
I want to run a particular MCP or agent, I give it a prompt like run Superman is one of my biggest prompts I have. It's like 50 page prompt called Superman.
Okay.
And I've used that MCP, and that's pretty much my business partner. That's my McKinsey. That's my Goldman Sachs business partner. Analyzes business opportunities and sees patterns, and that was made through MCP through Cloud Desktop, which is Cloud's the best enterprise business one out there. Sorry, chat, but that's just how I feel right now. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure everybody starting to learn all this stuff.
Yeah.
I'll let you proceed. I'm just trying to get the point across to folks that are listening.
Yeah, and so about this ChatGPT app store, it's bigger than the app store now, because anybody, if you have a skill set, a domain skill set that you have, domain knowledge, you can actually create within the store. And the cool thing about that is that now AI is making the decision when you search or say something. So that's why I say the conversation is now the new lead to customers. And AI needs to be able to discover your website. That's one thing a lot of people are not realizing now, is like Google used to be that key, but now if AI doesn't know about your website, guess what? You're going to lose out on clients or customers that are being found by other people's websites. That's one of the things that a lot of people are not understanding, is that now AI, like Chat, Perplexity, Claude, when you're having a conversation with it, it's actually going out there and it's finding actual, just like reviews, blogs, information, like actual verified and cited information to make a recommendation for that person. And so that's going to be pushing people to your website, or not pushing them to your competitors. That's one of the biggest things that business owners are not understanding right now. And those will be the businesses that suffer if they don't jump on board now, to seeing that the shift is actually going on right now. And so that's kind of that. And so it gets into what I've been, I wrote my book here, a search to system. A lot of people, again, where their mindset is still in 2006 when they were Googling stuff, right? And Google gave you links to click on. Well, AI is not giving you, AI is giving you actual outputs now, like it's giving you actual results. And so that's why I have this whole thing, search to system, like connecting your business, if you're a business owner, entrepreneur, or whatever, connecting your business to AI via MCP server. And so that's my whole thesis, that in the next 24 to 36 months, you have a head start, because we're still early in this game now. So this is kind of like the App Store of 2006, when the App Store, and we're in that same market, but this is like 20x bigger than that, because AI is like easy, and it's a lower cost to get into that industry there.
Okay.
Yes. All right. And that's why I say most people are using ChatGPT like Google still.
Yeah. So like you use the term system, and
Mhm.
so kind of help people understand what in your mind, what are you saying a system is?
So for example, when we talk about those skills,
Yeah.
like I have skills on skills now. Like
Okay.
so my system is like, I'm not prompting anymore. I've created skills that do certain tasks for me that I
Okay.
used to do, or I used to pay another provider to do. But
Okay.
now Claude is so smart, it can go do that same output. Like for example, I use this. It creates my thumbnails for me. It creates all my visions for it. All stuff that I used to pay someone $100 for on Fiverr for, now it does all that for me. It knows how I like it. It knows the way I want it. It does my reporting for me. So I write a lot of reports now.
So like so are you saying that a person that's not a programmer, they can either create these systems or have somebody create these systems for them to help you know shift their business to this AI native approach?
Yeah, exactly. So I've helped a lot of real estate agents, because I know real estate, understand like, I need a CRM. I need content. I need marketing that, and they spend hours doing that. Well, when they're spending hours doing that, guess what they're spending hours not doing?
Yeah.
Prospecting and finding people that are looking to buy and sell homes.
Yeah.
So I've been able to set up systems that understands the real estate process,
Okay.
understands, and so now, like for example, a real agents, I did this example for one of my classes where I made them print up five. They were a new listing. You're about to get a new listing. You're going to speak to a seller. I said,
Okay.
print up five comparable listings, five that
Okay.
are sold in that neighborhood, three that's on the market, and whatever is
Okay.
pending. Let's drop and drag that into the AI agent skill that I've created, because now I want it to do like a desktop appraisal for me based
Okay.
on these five listings and the ones on the market, create
Yeah.
analysis on what the highest and best price should be for this property based on days of market, condition, like all those different criterias, and create a summary for me. Then not only create a summary, create my presentation in gamma.app for me based
Okay.
on that. And
Got
and that process speeds up, like that turns into, from like a, I don't know what one of the agents said, sometimes they say it takes 2.5 hours for them to get all the data and go through it. It turned it into like a 20-minute exercise for us right there
Okay.
in the class. So now they've gone from an actual search, I guess, a search on MLS looking for it, to an actual system, and then they can do that for every new listing now.
Okay.
It will go through the steps. It will produce that report for them. So that's what I mean by from search to system. A system is a action steps that are followed that produce a outcome every time, that desirable outcome.
Yeah, and I heard you say that workflow.
Mhm.
It almost sounds like you can add another step in the beginning where, so the person doesn't have to go out and get the comparable listing. You can get develop a skill where that skill can go out and get the comparable listings to start as well.
Well, and that's one thing. So since they're a realtor, they have access to the MLS grid. So all
Yeah,
my realtors and my clients, they have their MLS that's connected to their cloud desktop. So
yeah,
instead of logging into the MLS every morning, all they have to do is log into the cloud, and they can pull the comparables right there. That's exactly, and that's something that I've done, because they're not going to be able to get an API and do that stuff. So
yeah.
that's a stream of income. When I meet, I give a free consultation, and I say, hey, this is what I can do. You can do it yourself. I tell them that all the time. Hey, you can do this yourself. It may take time, but and so that's kind of how I've been able to help people understand, like, you were paying XY dollars for this. Now this platform that you're going to actually own it, you're going to have it to use over and over and over again and not pay
Yeah.
anyone else for it. Like
Yeah.
that's what these LLMs are killing software companies now, because a lot of things people are paying for, they're able to do, especially ChatGPT. Like they're trying to eat everybody's lunch. You know, that's the
Yeah.
consumer. I believe ChatGPT is more like the consumer app that's going to be like the iPhone, right? Everybody's going to have it. It's going to be cool. But Claude is going to be what all these enterprise companies and business owners that are trying to scale are going to use that model. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So
So
we on.
that's
Yeah.
yeah,
I
search consistent.
I definitely understand what you mean now for sure.
Yeah, and so for black founders or your founders is that you don't need a VC money to get started now with this MCP stuff. Like if you have a problem, you understand, you can talk to AI, it can create the actual code for you, right? You
Yeah.
still may need
So,
a technical person.
yeah. I'm so glad you said that because that's how the whole the VC market is changing. And believe it or not, this we don't worry about it if you're not trying to raise VC funding. But what I'm telling you, what the stand's telling you, the VCs now expect you to be generating revenue because of all these AI capabilities.
Exactly. And if you can do that, then that's one barrier historically that black founders can actually get over that hump and provide. So
Yeah.
so that's one thing for us to understand. And then just different revenue tiers. Examples of how it can come up with different tiers for you if you're
So
having a
like,
pricing.
so are these some prices for your product? Are these how the AI agent can figure out this kind of stuff as well? What are you showing us here?
Yeah, these are some examples of some of my pricing products for my real estate agents. Yes.
Okay, gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
and different ones on different tiers depending on, I had it to tell me, hey, what's the annual spend on technology for certain business owners. If it's a sole entrepreneur, if it's a small group of 5 to 10 different attorneys, what does that look like? And so it
Okay.
kind of created these different tiers for me there.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
then and then just different the platform, how to scale it. I use a lot of free tools, and then I pay for a lot of tools. So when I started my real estate education business, I used the MLS email API to create me a list of 10,000 real estate agents.
So explain this day in the black here so I can understand what you're showing us here.
Yeah, so for example, you don't have to like actually think like an app developer. The power about multiple chat GPT apps is that it's your back end pretty much.
Okay,
Like if you have the front end, you have your logic of your business. Well,
okay,
chat GPT can actually run that for you. You can connect
okay.
it. It's getting smarter. It knows how
So
to connect to Google. It knows how to connect to all those MCP servers that we're talking about, right? And so
yeah,
now it's able to put the puzzle together for you.
and so your intellectual property is that you have an expertise in what you've been saying in the past. That's your domain knowledge. You got expertise in that, so you can configure systems based on your expertise. And I think in the long run, you're saying anybody that's got some expertise that knows how to do something, they can configure a system to help and and then sell that system to people in the same industry to save them a lot of time and money.
Because ultimately that's what employees are supposed to do. So
Yeah,
if you can create an agent or a system that does that, then now you're going to be able to sell that system, because that's what it's going to. That's the future of work is going to look like if you have that particular expertise in solving a problem, because that's the only thing they're going to care about. What's your outcome? How does it solve my problem? And
hmm,
so, that's the whole prompts, the tool description, how to create a tool and ChatGPT and stuff like that, what it's used for. And we kind of talked about that, the tools are something that these agents have, you know,
okay,
the purpose. And that's kind of like a quick little slide. So one example is for me, I'm creating the tool that I have called the Agree Zone. I mean, you have that conversation, and it's an AI powered negotiation platforms for realtors and for
okay,
buyers to actually have AI analyze if a deal is worth it, if a deal is reasonable. And what it is kind of like a dating app for buyers and sellers, because they, with the sell is they both put their information in, their high and their low, right? And it kind of gives you a compatibility score, right? And
yeah.
so that's kind of how the AI is, and it takes comparables too.
So
Like so,
so 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 Ray, so what you're showing us you took all the things that are tough for real estate agents, and you're creating the AI equivalent of those. Is that basically what's going on here?
That's exactly what's going on here. So what I've learned is that if you can take a problem and put AI around it now, that's a big enough problem, first of all.
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
and so most real estate agents say they spend time working on a deal and it doesn't close because there was really no common ground on the deal because everybody's in it for themselves. So if you have this tool that you can put in your buyer's preference and your seller's high, seller's low, and it gives you a compatibility score, and then it kind of tells you, hey, well, you're pretty good. You're like 85% there, and these are the areas that you could work on. It didn't give your actual your private preferences, but it
yeah.
gives you a score that if a deal is really manageable before you actually really start the negotiations, right? Because
Okay.
for a seller, that's time on the market, that's exposure that goes away. For
Yeah,
a buyer, that's them losing the home that they really wanted down the street versus the home that they really didn't want, but they wasted so much time on the house that they thought they were going to be able to get and lose out on the one down the street that they really wanted because
yeah.
they were still trying to negotiate back and forth.
So Ray, it sounds like you took your whole professional background in real estate, and all these different jobs you had in real estate, since you were kind of a expert, domain expert in that. Now you all the knowledge that you have in doing that, you're transferring that knowledge to AI, so the AI can go out and work 24/7 for you.
Exactly, and hope ChatGPT buys it.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know, my exit is like, hey, do I want to grow this from the ground up, or do I want to be, bought for $1 billion, right?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's what's happening right now in this age, right?
yeah,
So that's kind of one of the things. So how to get there tonight, again, ChatGPT, if you identify one process in your business or your job, learn the basic, how to actually articulate that, write that problem down and say, how would I solve that problem? What will take me from X, Y, and Z to get me to the finish line with that problem? And then, you can actually use coding tools like Clyde or Replit is one of the ones, Lovable. They all have their own pros and cons to them. And then you can build a MCP and you can host it, you can test it. Or like we always say, if you know 10 people that have that problem, talk to them before you even build anything, right? Talk to them
yeah.
before you build anything.
Gotcha.
Okay. And so that's kind of like how to get started tonight, the action plan. Like take the problem and how would you solve it? And then tell AI, like, I need you to create this meta prompt or even a prototype. You can do
Yeah,
prototypes on Claude and you can push and do the buttons and kind of do like a prototype that way easy. And
gotcha.
and so that's, let's say the math works. You can scale from a $50 API hosting, build 6 weeks, and revenue depending on what you're at about $10,000 actual a month. Think
Okay.
about the math. If I have a real estate course that I'm selling for $129.99, I've created it once. I have Stripe already on the website. If I sell that course 50 times a month at 129, and Stripe gets a percentage, and I get probably what I don't know what like $126. Do the math, and that's one tool. That's one MCP. That's one domain that I know is real estate that now can help fund my ventures and also my lifestyle and my retirement because I'm playing catch up.
Yeah, gotcha.
And the thing about that is that you take that money and then you put it into things like the market. You put it in things like a real estate trust or those hard assets that have been making money for people for decades, right? Especially if you don't come from money, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah, yeah.
All
And so
right.
that's that, and then I think that's it. The window's closing, so I would say get started now. Build systems, just don't ask questions, and yeah, that's pretty much what I have. Like the bottom for founders, and let's connect. This is my information here. This was a study by McKinsey talking about the wealth gap that it's projected that we can close some of the wealth gap if we take leverage in someone using this AI tools, but we have to do it strategically. Right, we have to onboard our youth to be able to learn AI literacy in our community, our business owners. So everything that you're doing, Lloyd, that's all to put the right pieces in the right position so we can get to where we need to get to as Black founders. And I always say, well, Black Tech Mafia, the new hustle is tech. So it's time
Yeah.
to hustle up. Let's use this AI to our advantage and not just be consumers, but also be producers and builders in this era.
Yes, I got a couple things here. So, Mark, there wasn't a sign up link. And Mark, which thing are you referring to? Are you referring to the Google Doc that I put in there? Or are you referring to the innovation on drcoorinstitute.org? What are you referring to there? And Frederick, so if, Mark, if you would put that in the chat, we'll get your answer. And so, are you planning on sharing those slides, Ray?
Oh, definitely. I'll go ahead and put it.
You can put that link in the thing, or is
Yeah,
that what you're going to do?
Yeah, I'm going to
Yeah.
do it right now. Let me get that before we get off so everybody can have that link here.
Okay. And
And
so,
yeah,
let me see what's Fred is asking here. Let's see.
he's talking about the gentleman that made OpenClaw that got hired by Meta. Okay, yeah,
I've got you.
yeah,
Yeah, that was a fast.
yeah.
Okay,
That was yeah, that was the highest. What did they say? The open source project ever to go that fast. Like it just went straight. Like within
yeah.
a couple of weeks, is like outbeat every open source project ever created. So yeah, and
Okay, yeah,
that's where we're at.
yeah. So OpenClaw, it was kind of like it's for a personal 24/7 agent.
Yes. Yeah.
And so what NVIDIA did, they created Nemo Cloud. They put a security wrapper around that OpenClaw, so enterprise could actually use it. And so through some prompting, and Ray, maybe you already know the answer to this, or maybe you can research it, is that but basically I was, because my kind of workflow, just so everybody know, I use the LLMs, ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, the Chat, Gemini, and so I run the same prompt and all three of them just to see what the results are, and then I take the results and dump them over into Notebook LM to reflect the information back to me so I can understand it better, and so I started, also hearing about what's the ID that Google has now.
Let me see.
I'm trying to think of the name of it, but it's got it's one word, but anyway, maybe it'll come to me. But it literally saying if you use it, you don't need to worry about security issues that you have with MCP. I mean, with the OpenClaw.
Yeah,
So
and I know Amazon is doing that too now. I'm sorry, to cut you off, but Amazon has it in their environment now too. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the IDE that Google just came out with. I apologize, my mind is drawing blank. I guess I'm running low on fuel here. But anyway, what was crazy about this information was based on let's say for instance, we give the founders who join our program this business model design and demand validation and marketing prompt. So whatever your business idea in the industry, it simulates your whole business with that. But what this thing was saying, this anti-gravity. Yeah, that's the name of it. But it literally was saying with that information, it could, and what you have in Notebook LM, it could literally go out and build the application for you because it's got all that knowledge that you have in the notebook.
Exactly. Yeah.
It literally has the information. No, it's anti-gravity It's anti-gravity, and so it's the name of it. But I was curious about it because, see, based on the way I prompt and the prompts I have, it always tells me the next step is. And so I was doing this one thing, and it was saying the next step you can go over to anti-gravity, and and use the notebook as the source, and it will literally build the application based off all the stuff that you research.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was like literally blown away. But the point I make here, and then we can get on off, is that once the AI knows what you're trying to accomplish, and with this Lanicia method prompt that we use, and you use that to analyze information, it's going to go through 10, it's going to analyze information through 10 different lenses, and then suggest what you should do next. And so what's so crazy? So Ray, you were talking about the recursiveness. So imagine if you do this thing and it tells you what to do next, and then what if you run that prompt again on the same thing? It's recursing over and over again, to help you move forward fast. It literally speeds up your production journey, because it knows what you're trying to accomplish. Because you've been chatting so much, these large language models know what they know. It knows your personality. It knows what you're struggling with. It knows all these things. So it literally can move you forward in what you're doing. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that is Google. That first link is not the official link. This one right here is. It's the official link to the Google. Yeah, that second one right there. Yeah.
Anti-gravity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the official one. Yeah.
Yeah, but the Gemini, you can tie it to your notebooks. And so, like, let's say you dump all this information in your notebook. Now it will synthesize all the information for you. So with Google, you can go to the next step with anti-gravity, or you can go over to Gemini and use the notebook as one or more notebooks as a source. But then you can create a gem that actually, which is an AI agent that's using the knowledge of your source, which is your notebook. And so that's an agent that you can share with people as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
wow. Yeah. Thank you for telling us that, Lloyd. I didn't know about that. So now you can give me something else to add to the toolbox.
Well, see, I've been telling people about this Lanicia prompt, and I think last week I shared the prompt, and I'll be also sharing how you personalize that prompt for you. So in essence, like these prompts, they require input. And so, like with this prompt that creates the personalized Lanicia prompt for you, literally all you have to do is say, run the following prompt based on what I've been prompting about the past 3 years, or what I've been prompting about the past 6 months, and then it'll analyze all your prompting history, and which is basically your all your habits and patterns. And then it'll build this Lanicia prompt for you. And then now you got the prompt. All you have to do is this prompt say, please analyze this particular article with my prompt. Please analyze this particular article with my prompt. But so guess what the prompt is doing for me? It's telling me I should turn this personalized Lanicia prompt into a skills.
To a skill, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that I didn't even have to think about it. It's based on what the Lanicia prompt does, the next action, that's what the AI is doing. So what I'm trying to tell you, if you've been prompting, the AI knows your habits and what you're trying to do. It knows the pattern and what you're trying to do. So when you ask, if you literally, even without this Lanicia thing, if you just ask ChatGPT to please analyze my prompting history over the past year, past 2 years, past 3 years, and tell me how I can improve. And it'll literally tell you what you're struggling with. It'll literally tell you, because literally that's what you want to use AI for, is to reflect back your own thinking so you can improve your thinking to move forward.
And that's exactly what I did, Lloyd. Excuse me. I did that with Clyde. I said, I want to know all the prompts I've used, how many times I've repeated it, and he gave me a whole list. I exported it to Excel, printed it out, and highlighted them, and that's how I made my skills. So yeah, that's exactly the playbook to do. Yeah. Wow.
So Mark, and let's see what. So Mark, I appreciate you here. So where are you? So both in YouTube, so like this particular thing streamed to YouTube, is streamed to our Startup on the Block's Facebook page, is streamed to my LinkedIn thing. So I'll put it in the chat, and so what you have to yeah, but the one I was telling you about, reviewing your prompting history, you can just say, please review my prompting history over however long you've been prompting and tell me how I can improve it. And it literally will tell you how you've been prompting, and then it will tell you how you can improve what you're prompting. So it literally is going to tell you that AI will help you do, you don't have to know anything. The AI will help you with anything if you just let it know what you're trying to do. And so that's what the deal is. So I had lunch with a product manager, or whatever type of person job he had, and you know, he was saying he used Claude, not Claude, but what's the Copilot, you know, since
Okay, Copilot, Microsoft. Yeah.
So just everybody just listen to me here. And so, and he said it was just normally doing prompting to help them with a few things, but he said Copilot has all the transcripts from his meetings and stuff like that. And so I said, well, you know, once I send you this data to create your own personalized Nietzsche prompt, so what you would do, you would use this prompt to create your Nietzsche prompt, but you go in there and tell it based on, in his case, tell it all the things I've been prompting about and all the meeting history that you have on me, and use the following prompt to okay, based on all my stuff I've been prompting about in Copilot and all the meetings I've been in from the transcripts you have, please use that as input to this prompt, and then it'll create the Nietzsche prompt based on that. And so that's what the method is. So you just have to remember, everything is a pattern. All your prompting activity that you've been doing for the past however long is a pattern. And so it can take that pattern and because it's telling you because it knows what you're trying to accomplish, what you're trying to do. And so it will literally create a prompt that will analyze any information you feed to it based on what it knows your interests are, and give you the kind of information you need to move forward from that. And so that's what the significance of this is. So I'll paste that prompt into all the place where we're streaming this at, so you can actually use it. But it's literally that simple. People, they make everything complicated, but everything is a pattern. So let AI analyze the pattern and move you forward.
That's what it's all about, those patterns. Exactly. Yeah. Being able to recognize the patterns, be able to create your own patterns is the next step. That's what I tell people, like, yeah.
Yeah, and so and so so we could go on forever. Ray, you got me all fired up. You got me all fired up here, and we already got 20 minutes over. But I appreciate you hanging in. I appreciate you sharing how you've been using the AI, because I think it's a really good example of somebody with a certain expertise. If you're doing a job, you got expertise, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, and so now how to apply that thing, or you may have a hobby or whatever. So that's what the deal is. All right, we appreciate you, man, and y'all reach out to Ray if you need anything from him. and let's help each other grow and move forward, and definitely get involved with our Founders Insight program and participate in our conference. You know, Fred and Mark, I appreciate you all chiming in, and yeah, if you're interested in what we're talking about, we'll help you move forward. So yeah, so just be aware of that. All right, thanks, Ray. We'll see everybody next week.
Thank you, Lloyd. Always a pleasure. Y'all have a good one.
All right. Bye-bye.